They told me that career is built on logic. They told me that success is built on reality and realistic expectations. But I think reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very, very persistent one. Hi, I'm Chef Nikita, and for the longest time, I was fed the story of society's illusion of what I should be and who I should be. I'm here to tell you why, in the kitchen and in life, the most persistent illusions are the ones that feed our souls. And I want to do this through my journey. You can see I was a 13-year-old kid who was experimenting in the kitchen. I started baking just out of curiosity of what this is. And I was somebody who was glued to the television because I was so awestruck by MasterChef. I used to see all these words. What does sauteing mean? What does tempering mean? We never use it in any of our households. I just started with the mere curiosity of, using all my allowances into buying baking supplies, into buying ingredients and experimenting at home. And my mom's kitchen was turned upside down. Boy, did she not like me. She thought, what is she doing? This is just a hobby. She's a curious kid and she'll get over it. Then came 12th boards. I did well because I scored about 92 percentage. I got into good colleges in Bangalore. I even cleared my IIT JEE mains. I knew I was not going to pursue any of that. And the reason I did any of that was because there was an illusion that if you pursued something creative, something in that is creative, you are probably not smart enough. Every time somebody pursued arts or wanted to be a chef, everybody thought, oh, didn't you do well in your education? Is this why you want to do this? And a lot of societies' illusions were also some people coming to me directly and telling, "Tum bartan dhona chahti ho? You want to wash dishes for your life? Is this seriously what you want out of your life?" And I was hell bent. I said, "Listen, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to pursue being a professional chef." And as a result, my mom was really upset. She was like, "Listen, nobody comes from this industry. I don't know what happens. I've heard that it's a male dominant industry, and it is. To a large extent, it was rather. There was a point where I was the only female chef amongst 80 chefs in the kitchen. So you can understand the difference in parity. So I told her, listen, as a naive 17-year-old, that I'm going to do this. One day, you'll probably look at me in newspapers, in magazines, and say proudly that this is my daughter and she is a chef. And that did happen. So at 17, I had no idea that I was creating all these illusions for myself and slowly manifesting them. And there was a lot of points in my career where I was part of the team that created the world's most expensive chocolate, and that went on to the Guinness World Book of Records. And I was really glad to be doing that. I was really glad. Thank you. I was really glad to be featured in a lot of magazines, in a lot of newspaper articles, to be one of the best chocolatiers in the country, and I'm glad that it did happen. So, what I'm coming to tell you is that society creates a lot of illusions that you can't be this, you can't be that, but you create your own reality. Next came being very accountable for my all the things that I was telling myself, everything that I was putting out there and being really accountable about my own decisions in life. So I was with a great organization in the corporate world where Pan India, there were only 6 students selected for a program, and I was one of them. And which also led me to represent India in Singapore in one of the biggest competitions for chefs. It was called Bocuse d'Or, and I was 19 at the time. So all these exposures and the things that I was telling myself was just me making it come true. Once I was in the organization, I spent about 6 years creating a solid foundation for myself, creating amazing skill set for myself. And then I thought, okay, now this is too mundane. I'm slightly bored of this. People thought I was crazy to be quitting the job and going into entrepreneurship. They said, why would you leave a stable job, a well paying job, everything taken care of, and now you want to quit it? And that's what happened. I quit my job and started my entrepreneurial journey. I started from home, and everybody thinks, oh, you need a lot of funding to do this. Maybe, maybe your parents supported you, but what it what I did was every household has a budget for weddings, and I used my wedding budget to aid my business. I told my parents, I'm going to have a small wedding on the terrace of my house so that you can give me that funding to start my business. And I did. I started from my home, from my apartment as a professional chef, and what really helped me was being really, really authentic about this and really vulnerable about this. I reached out to a lot of my clients, a lot of my chefs to say that I've started this, and they came by to support me so much that we expanded to 3 outlets, retail outlets, in 3 years. Now, along this journey, also came something I did not see coming at all. One of the chefs called me up and said, "Hey, listen, we're looking for a judge on MasterChef India Telugu. Would you be interested?" And I was like, I just kept quiet for some time. I was like, am I hearing this right? Me? And this all came from reference. I didn't audition. I didn't go for a traditional, selection rounds, none of that. And they said, the only condition is you have to know Telugu. And I didn't know Telugu. I was like, what do I do? I'm not going to give up this opportunity because I don't know a language. Is that really what's going to happen? And I had 2 months, and man, did I brush through spoken Telugu classes. I took so many classes. I learned the language in a span of 2 months because you're going on to national television and you really have to prove yourself. So I did not let this illusion of not knowing something get in the way or to have one of the biggest experiences and opportunity of my life. So, what I want to tell you is that there will be so many opportunities that will come your way. There'll be so many things that are going to test you. There are so many things that the world decides for you. But what I want to tell you and challenge you is that don't settle for a world that everybody appears. Don't settle for a world that everybody just sees the way it is and it appears to be. Question it, challenge it, be the Mayavini of your own craft, master it, and let the illusion push you to dream and to disrupt everything that you follow. Thank you so much.